Hello and welcome to another Do It All Yourself guy video. Today we're going to fix the trunk of a 2008 Toyota Prius that no longer opens. There's different reasons why your trunk will not open, but in my case, the trunk latch is probably stuck. So what we'll do is find that trunk latch and replace the part that actually latches and unlatches to open the trunk. Let's get going. So the first thing we'll do is I manually opened the trunk of the Prius. I'll leave a link below for a separate video that shows you how to do that. And once the trunk is manually opened, we'll go ahead and take things apart and replace the trunk latch. Next, let's take everything out the trunk, the mats, the baseboard. We'll take out the container in the back where you have all your tire change tools. Okay, once at this point, you'll see your spare tire and we have access to the latch. But before we start working, we'll also remove this plastic cover right here so we can have direct access to the latch. All you got to do to do that is simply pull on the plastic like this. And it comes right out. So underneath, you'll see these tabs right here. There's 4 tabs right here that simply push into the metal right here to keep this plastic piece. Okay, so at this point we have full access to the trunk latch right here. This part is the original part that came with my vehicle. Mine is 2008, so it is quite old. And what's likely happening is when I push the button to open the trunk, it is getting stuck. So this piece is getting stuck and it's not unlatching. So the trunk is not actually opening. So what we'll do is we'll replace this part right here. Should be easy to replace fairly quickly, but I'll show you how to do that. With a new part, I should have the trunk easily opened every single time. It is worth mentioning that you could get this to unlatch if you simply put some grease on it or lubricant, or just simply get it unstuck. But over time that won't work. It'll still continue to get stuck. So at some point in time you might have to replace this latch, which is where I'm at right now. I did get this fixed a couple times, but I'm at a point where it still gets stuck, so I'm going to replace this part altogether. I bet now that I've kind of moved it a little bit manually, it will likely work right now. Yep, it works, but as soon as I put everything back together and I drive the car for a little bit, it gets stuck again. So definitely gonna go ahead and change it. Should be a small quick fix. Let's get to it. Okay, so here's the trunk, and I'm gonna zoom in here, trying to get you oriented without having to mount the camera. So here is the piece, kind of looking at it top down, and we're gonna start our work. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to pull on those tabs right here with a screwdriver and get the connectors pulled out so we can fully disconnect this piece. Okay, so this is now disconnected. We'll do the same thing here. Just simply pull out, and there it is. It just comes right out. So now next we'll go ahead and physically disconnect the cable. So all you gotta do is push down on these white tabs right here. You could use a screwdriver to get both sides. There's actually one side here, so just use a screwdriver, push down, and pull, just like that. Next, we'll go ahead and actually disconnect the latch. We'll use a socket wrench right here. So Toyotas use metric, so you'll need a 10mm socket. We'll go ahead and start disconnecting these bolts. All right, hold on to these bolts, set them aside because we're going to need them. So once the bolts are out, then this whole entire latch assembly comes out just like that. And now we're ready to install the new latch. So here's my new ordered part right there. New, fresh, brand new latch. I'll leave a link below in case you're interested. So this is an exact replacement for the latch. Here is the new one, and here's the old one. As you can see, they're identical, but this one has definitely had its fair share of usage, and this one is brand new. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug the new one in. So all you gotta do is put this piece down like that, push down. So just slide the new trunk latch in, line up the holes with the mounting holes, and use the bolts to simply attach. We're not gonna tighten yet, but just simply attach it to the metal frame. All right, so all three holes should mount perfectly. I'll go ahead and just tighten it a little bit, not all the way. I'm just trying to get it attached close enough. Okay, so it looks like it's right in place. Once that is in place, I'm going to go ahead and only connect the cable. Before I tighten this all the way, I'm going to connect the cable and try it out, and I should hear the latch click and open when I push the button. So here we go. Excellent. This one sounds pretty zippy compared to my old one, so I know this one should work well, should open the trunk every time. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and push the cable tab back into the metal frame, just like that. And then same thing here. Simply push the plastic mount into it. It should attach. And then last, you can go ahead and tighten the bolts to make sure that the trunk latch is mounted all the way. All right, so that looks pretty solid. Next, we'll make sure that the trunk is actually lined up perfectly with the latch, and this trunk can open and close. So here it is. Looks pretty close. All right, that's good. Perfect. Line up. Awesome. So that looks like it's lined up. It's working every time. Like I said, I'll leave a link below for this part in case you want to get one to fix your Prius. Go ahead and put everything back in. So now that the trunk latch is installed, secured, lined up, ready to go, I'm just going to go ahead and start putting things back. So in reverse order, we'll start with the plastic piece right here. Again, the tabs, these plastic tabs right here, line up with holes in the frame. So simply line them up like that and give it a push, and that secures it. It does wiggle a little bit, so no worries there. And then the trunk lines up right there. So now my 2008 Prius trunk is good as new, opens every time, extending the life of this vehicle. It's a pretty simple project, no big deal. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a like, leave a comment below, and subscribe to my channel.